Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you can join me here today. As the year 2024 draws to a close, this is the time where we now sit down, reflect, ponder, and think about the year that has just passed, is about to pass, and see how we basically spent the year, what we did, what went well, what did not go well, what we can improve on, what worked really well, and we can just use it going forward. And the whole point is of this exercise is that we basically introspect into our own hearts, into our own souls, into our own selves, and see how we were as a person, as a human being, and how our journey was for the year 2024, and then use that as the benchmark to goal set and to improve next year 2025. Now, in the midst of all of this, I'd like to give you a flavor of what I personally did for the year 2024 and how I goal set my year essentially. I did a few things in 2024 that I wanted to do, a few things that I wanted to, in terms of conquering my fears and doing things that I was uncomfortable doing. I started that in 2024. But essentially, there was something that was pivotal for me that helped me go on this journey. And I basically used animals as a benchmark for the year. So let me explain what I mean. So for the year 2024, the animal that I focused on was a lion. Now, I had changed the screensaver, I had changed the background on my phone to as a picture of a lion. On all my laptops, my work laptop and my home laptop were also pictures of a lion. So every time I looked at my background and looked at my work, logged into my work laptop or my personal laptop, the picture of the lion came up. And the reason why that's important is because I had basically benchmarked the lion to mean something personal to me. For me, the lion meant that I was going to be grounded. I was going to be basically try and conquer what is mine, right? Try and get the framework and the groundwork of the kind of person I want to be. So forget about going out there, getting everything I want to get. This year for me was just about grounding myself, establishing my presence on this earth. Not for anyone else, just for myself. Establishing who I am as a person, getting to know yourself. There's a famous Arabic quote that says, "He who knows himself will know his Lord." And essentially, if you believe in God, which I do, the only way to get to know your creator and the world out there, or the creator of this universe, is to basically introspect inside and know who you really are. So for me, this year, represented by the lion, was a year that I wanted to ground myself. I wanted to know who I really am. And I also wanted to discover the warrior within me. And essentially, a lion is the king of the jungle. Everyone's scared of the lion, right? Everyone knows the presence of the lion when he's there. And I wanted to do that for myself. I wanted to establish my own presence in this world and know the boundaries that I have, and essentially bring out the warrior energy in me. Now, let me explain to you what I mean by warrior energy. There's a book I read recently called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. I'll quickly show the book to you, if you bear with me. So this is the book by Bob Boothroyd, Warrior, Magician, Lover, King. Okay, and this is an updated version for the 21st century. So this is the original version of this book was published 20 years ago. I have it right here again, by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. So it's the same title, King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. But because this was published in 1990s, I think. Rob Boothroyd basically updated that version to bring it to the 21st century, so make it more applicable. And for me, this book resonated very much with me, very, very much, in terms of especially with the warrior energy. Like, a warrior energy is the person who basically establishes his boundaries. He knows he can hold himself up. He knows his boundaries. He knows where his time is, because time is a precious commodity. He knows how to use his time well, and if he knows that something is sucking away his time, he knows when to say no as well. These are things that I struggle with personally. Everyone has a different journey. This was my journey. The warrior energy was very much lacking in me. Lover, Magician, King, I mean, those are all important energies that I have been trying to work on, but the warrior energy especially was very much lacking in me. And I wanted to establish that warrior energy. And for me, one of the things that the lion represented was the warrior energy, in terms of the lion is ferocious. The lion is basically scary, right? Like when you see a lion in front of you, your heart palpitates, your heart starts moving really fast because you know there's a lion right there. And for me, that's what the lion represented. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to establish an animal. So when I see that animal, I will automatically link that animal to this. This is kind of like habit stacking. Basically, when you link one thing to something else. James Clear talks about this in his book Atomic Habits. He says that if you want to form a good habit, basically stack a good habit with something that you enjoy. For example, if you hate going to the gym but you love drinking a cup of coffee with sugar, let's say you don't normally drink sugar, which I don't, but let's say you love drinking coffee with sugar, what you do is you go to the gym and you tell yourself, once I go to the gym, I will have a cup of coffee with sugar, which I really enjoy. So you know that every time you go to the gym, the reward that you get is the cup of coffee, and it's stacked together. And for me, that's what the lion was. So the lion basically represented lots of different things for me in this year. And one of the things I like I said, it represented the warrior energy in me, and what I wanted to establish to basically, it's all about grounding and establishing my presence on this earth for myself, establishing who I am, getting to know myself really well. I've never spent a lot of time getting to know myself, and this year was a year that I spent to get to know myself better. So now I use that as a benchmark, and that's one of the reasons I could do things that I'd never ever envisioned in the past. Like, I never thought I would ever do it in the past. The things that I did this year, for example, this YouTube channel that I started this year was something I would have never, for the life of me, I would have never put myself out in public because I just couldn't do it. Or for example, I wrote lots of blog posts, putting myself out in public. I got into running, very passionately into running. I got into running last year as well, but this year I notched it up. I even signed up for my first ever marathon, which is very scary. But that's a video for another time. I've already made a couple of videos on it anyways. And then I went skydiving, for example. Again, coming out of my comfort zone, looking at my fear of heights, and basically because I wanted to establish my presence on this earth. I wanted to know who I really am. And to really know yourself, you have to know, you can't really know what balance is unless you've experienced opposite extremes. When you know what the opposite extremes are, then you know what your balance is. You don't really know who you really are unless you have dived deep down inside, sat with yourself and just pondered. There was a test that was done many years ago in America, where they put people in a room and they told them that you have to sit in the room for a given amount of time, let's say about an hour or 2 hours, no phones, no laptops, nothing around, just you and your thoughts. But there's an electrocution machine that you could basically self-electrocute yourself. Uncomfortable, not harmful, but it's uncomfortable. The number of people who did that was astonishing, surprising, because people cannot sit with themselves and their thoughts because they're too scared to go inwards. And that's something I wanted to conquer. The whole point of meditation, the whole point of prayer, the whole point of focus, concentration is you want to go inwards and just set your mind at peace and just focus on what you're doing. And that's the whole point of this year. Now, looking forward to next year, I have thought of an animal that I want to establish for next year. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to change my desktop background for my laptops, both my personal work laptop. I'm going to change my phone's background as well. And every time I look at that picture of that animal, it will establish what I am looking for. And for me, the year of 2025 is going to be the year of the eagle. Now, what does an eagle represent? An eagle is a majestic bird, right? It's not just a normal bird. It's not like a chicken or like a crow or a sparrow or like a tiny animal or a parrot. It's an animal that is established, and it's so highly ranked in the bird world that other birds would possibly be scared by eagles because of how majestic it is. You could call an eagle the lion of the bird world. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making that up. But essentially for me, what the eagle represents is basically going out and getting what's mine. So now that I've grounded myself, I've established my presence, I know who I am. I don't know who I am, not yet, but I'm on my journey to know who I really am. I've established myself and gone inwards, tried to look inwards. Now that I've done all of that, next year, 2025, I want to basically spread my wings, metaphorically speaking, as an eagle. I want to want to fly out and find out what the world has for me. The world is my oyster. The world is everyone's oyster. But I don't really know what's waiting for me unless I go out and find it. Now that I've established my groundedness, I've established my boundaries, I know who I am, I can now fly out and investigate and discover who I really am and who I need to be by flying out and exploring. I don't really know what that looks like at the moment. You basically with things like this, you basically iterate as you go on. Even with the lion, for example, the year of 2024, I didn't, when I first set that boundary of or that goal of being a lion for this year, for 2024, sorry, I did not know what that really looked like until the year unfolded, and as things progressed, I became more and more familiar of what I was looking for. And the same thing will happen for me in 2025 as well. Again, it's no one has all the answers. I'm going to make another video on this concept that no one really, everyone's just really faking it until they make it. That's a video for another time. But essentially, no one really knows the answers, and that's fine. That's fine. No one's asking me to have all the answers. The whole point is the effort is required. I have to just start walking on the journey. It's like shining a torchlight. So when you, on a dark night, when you shine a torch, you can only see a little bit further, and that's all that's required. No one's asking you to go to the destination using just this torchlight. All it is, you shine your torchlight, you walk a few steps, and then from where you reach, you shine the torchlight again, and then walk another few steps, and so on and so forth. And that's the whole point of this journey. No one's asking me or you for all the answers. You just have to start and then see how it goes on. So for me, the eagle is just a starting point. I will explore I will explore myself and what is required of me as time progresses next year in 2025. But essentially the framework of what I want my eagle to do, or the eagle to do basically, is to just go out in the world and explore it and just take it all in. The world is beautiful. I mean, there's so much to look at in the world, to admire, and I just want to take it all in and basically spread my presence around, if you get the gist of that. And yeah, that's I think that's essentially what I want to do in 2025, and I hope I can actually do that. I hope I can do that, and I hope I can get my presence in this world and see how I can, I don't know, I can do things that are different to what I've been doing for the last God knows how many years. So yeah, I'm going to embrace my eagle in me as I part with the lion. The lion's always going to be within me. The warrior, the boundaries, the things that I learned this year will always stay with me as my benchmark. And then I use that to fly ahead and fly forward as the eagle for 2025, and that's what I plan to do. I'm going to double down on everything I've been doing, reading, running, self-improvement, all of these things that I've always been doing, but then taking it a notch further and spreading my wings further forward and further afield. Again, not sure what that looks like, but that's just my thoughts that I have. And I hope that resonates with anyone, to be honest. If it does, then I'm really glad. But yeah, I think that's essentially the video for this week, is just to basically take account of what 2024 has been like for me. Basically journaling is a big part of my life. I don't use pen and paper because I don't normally go back to it. I have an app on my iPhone called Journal. The app is actually called Journal. It's actually password protected, so whoever has access to your phone will not be able to open it unless they have facial recognition. So it's a secret journal, and I basically use that to pen all my thoughts. Everything goes in there. A good day, bad day, whatever. Sometimes I try and have a bit more structure with it. I will also be using it to basically goal set for next year and tell myself what is required out of me. So, and it helps. Sometimes it helps to just put your thoughts on paper or on a phone, for example, or an app. And it really helps to basically articulate whatever you are doing and whatever you are thinking of. In a way that you couldn't have done just leaving it in your head. So yeah, that's the plan. Just goal set for 2025. Think about 2024. Think what went well, what did not go well, and then from that just improve and iterate and become a better version of myself. And then next year we fly off. I think that's that's one way of looking at it. That's next year I want to fly off. That's my year 2025 is to basically fly off. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you found today's video beneficial and useful. If you did, then I'm very glad. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to, and if not, I shall see you in the next video. Thank you. See you soon.